you could understand, maybe I wouldn't be such a downtrodden man.
I'm somebody who started playing music as an outlet for maybe the sorrow I was going through. I was getting in a lot of trouble when I was younger, and guitar was, I didn't feel like I knew where to go, but when I started playing guitar, that gave me direction. So we used to live in South Texas when I was a kid, and my mama moved up to Dallas. Yeah, we lived out in the country there near the same town Freddie Fender was born in, is a Tejano blues musician from that town. And she moved up to Dallas, and I went to New Orleans to live with my uncle, and he lived in the French Quarter in New Orleans. And that's where I started kind of being around street musicians, playing on the street and stuff. And so I was playing in parks, and then I realized I could start playing on the street corners. And so I started playing on the street, playing for change, learning songs from the other bands, drinking songs, traditional New Orleans stuff. Started dressing up old time because, so I wouldn't scare the tourists off. You make more money if you present yourself better. And that got me into traveling, and I started hitchhiking and riding trains, playing on subway cars in New York City, and house parties, street corners all over the place. And I just did that for a lot of years, and, you throw out the songs that don't work and you play the songs that do work, and so I learned a lot of old jazz, a lot of old blues, a lot of soul music. I learned a lot of music off of other travelers, I did that in Europe too. I played in the street in Paris. I learned a lot there. I really liked it. It was amazing. It was fantastic. It was a better quality of life playing and living on the street there than in New York, I could tell you that. But I like the diverse culture.
Yes, of course.
And it's so diverse. I met a lot of gypsies, a lot of Africans. Yeah, and I like it because it's a big city, but it moves slow compared to New York City or to like American cities. Everybody just go. France was nice. It was a little more slow paced, and I think people appreciated, artists on the street a little more. We're a little more invisible in America. Until you get to a certain place. It's hard to get people's attention.
So the man is the singer and the musician, the artist, the same person.
Yeah. Well, I'm just standing behind my guitar, and I've always just been playing for change out of a guitar case. There's just a little more politics now, and I play amplified. And I've just been moving to better and better spots. The way it's the same thing. Everything you learn on the street, that's the real place that you figure out if you're any good, and you learn everything there, and I'm glad that I started there. I was too rough around the edges to even ever play in a club when I was younger. But the good thing about playing in the street is you have to work to get people's attention because they don't want you to be there. They're not standing waiting for the train to see you. So you really have to. You got to learn I learned how to talk to people. I learned how to get their attention, what worked and what didn't, and that's, I just applied that always. It hasn't changed, It's just, like I said, there's just more politics. Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. You do. You got to get strong, and you got to get strong,
We love your style. You're so stylish.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
So are y'all.
But we're Italians.
Y'all got style. I know, exactly.
And you look very different by other American singer and country singer. So we love your jacket, your dress. Where do you take the inspiration?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I love...
You're very original, very authentic, but unique.
Well, thank you. I like old vintage clothing because I think we make so much clothing today that is coming off the labor of poor people from all over the world. I mean, Vietnamese people, Africans, all these oppressed people we're making all this very cheap clothing that's being thrown away.
Where is your favorite place? Where do you feel home?
Well, I feel home on the road. I like being on the road. I like broke down towns. I love the desert. Really love the desert. so full of life. There's so many colors, you know.
You can create everything.
Yeah, I love sleeping out there. We go out there and sleep in the truck, just to go sleep out in the truck.
So your music is so powerful. And what do you believe in?
What do I believe in?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Well, I think that I believe in music, you know. I believe in music. I think that I think it's a universal language, you know. I think you can understand a culture really well by its folk music, you know. I really believe in that. I'm a very spiritual person, but I don't like subscribe to maybe like an organized religion, but I believe that, you know, God is something that it's the tie that binds, you know, it's the thread that goes through everybody. So I'm spiritual, but I try to stay away from a lot of the organized religious stuff, you know. But you know, I'm very spiritual. That's why I write music. I think music is how I deal with life. You know, we live in a very wild times. You know, there's a lot of inequality and everywhere. It's hard not to see it all the time. I deal with it through music, I guess. You know, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh, y'all most welcome. Thank you. I really appreciate you. It's wonderful.
I ain't got nobody who brought me up this hill.